Hello and welcome to Nitro Talk. If you are into anything related to the nitro side of the RC hobby, engines, vehicles, pipes, tools, please like and subscribe. It would really help me out. We are today going to discuss I'll try to remember the entire name, the GDS Racing nitro engine combustion liner connecting rod remove tool set. I believe this is called. I bought this thing years ago, many years ago. Had to be at least 6-7 years ago. This is when I was first getting into nitro engines, maybe a year into my nitro years. But they still sell this thing brand new today. I just looked. You can go on GDS website and you can buy this tool set right now for $24. All right. What is it? As you can tell in the name, combustion, your sleeve, combustion is your head button, your combustion chamber. Liner is your sleeve, right? And connecting rod. It is tools to remove all those items, right? Hey, slow down. Don't go to Google and order it just yet. Hold on a moment. We're all looking for good tools, especially sleeve removal tools. We are all looking for a good, non-damaging, easy to use, simple sleeve removal tool, right? That's like the dream. So what do we have here? Let's first talk about this thing. All right. Very nice handle. Now that's the other thing. Why are you making me buy 3 handles? They're all for the same things. They all got the same size shaft. Why don't I just have 1 handle and 3 tools? Why do I got to pay for those 2 handles when I could just have 1? I'm not going to use more than 1 of these at once, right? So I could easily switch the tips around. Pointless to make me buy all these handles. All right. So this is a tool that is essentially shaped like a turbo glow plug. Turbo only. They do not give you an additional one for use with standard plugs. You are turbo only. And the way this tool is used, as you can see, it's a glow plug. You are meant to install it, turn it, screw it into your head button, and then you can grip the tool and remove it, right? I've had, now, number one, head buttons rarely stick, okay? But they do stick, but it's pretty rare. It has happened more than once when I have been disassembling a video. If anyone remembers, what do? Did I reach for that thing? No, I did not. What I simply do, it's got a glow plug in it's a turbo plug right there. I simply grab my glow plug wrench, right? And at the same time, I'll spin. You got to go, if you spin that way, you'll just unscrew the glow plug. So spin it and pull. Spin and pull at the same time. And I don't think that has ever failed to work to pull off a head button. But let's say that didn't work. Okay, let's say that head button is on there so tight that the old spin and pull doesn't work. Well, then, if you have to, you can grip a glow plug with a pair of pliers. You don't really, I guess you don't want to put a pair of pliers on it, but it's a glow plug. It ain't your engine. It's just a glow plug. Look, I'm going to give everything I got on here. Okay? I'm sure I put some marks in it, but you can barely see them. You know, it's a glow plug. If you have to grip the glow plug to yank it out, no big deal. That right there, completely useless tool. Pointless, useless. Right? Let's put that over there. What do we have next? And like I said, this was in my early nitro years when I took an all metal tool, right? See how it's all scratched up? And you can also, if you look here, you see how the scratches only go a little bit down. You can never get this whole thing behind the conrod. You can always only get the very tips. And as you can see how bent it is, and then it eventually snapped. This thing just does not work to remove conrods. Number one, conrods have to come out perfectly straight. You have to pull it perfectly straight off of the crank. This thing, if you can get behind it, even if you try to pull it, it cocks it. So this thing makes it harder. This thing makes it harder to remove a connecting rod. A connecting rod, what you really just want to do, you put your finger on it, you're trying to pull it off the crank pin, right? You just take your other hand and spin the crank as you're pulling with your finger. That's pretty much the only way. You don't want to get a metal tool in there and yank on it. You're going to gouge. I frickin' gouged a couple conrods like a moron before I figured out that, again, second tool, completely useless, worthless tool, right? And connecting rods only really get stuck when they're brand new. I've never seen a connecting rod that I was not able to get off with a spin finger move, except for on a brand new engine. So at that point, I just, I'm trying to take it apart to inspect it, but I got the back plate off. I can at least get a good look in there. I just run the engine, and then the first time I take it apart, the conrod usually pops off then. Just pointless tool. So what do we got left? Our sleeve removal tool. That's what I bought this for. That's what anyone would buy this for the sleeve removal tool, right? So how is this used? You chuck the piece in your little tool. I guess you don't need to chuck it. Why even have these be removable if you got one handle for each thing, right? Anyways. So as you can see, you got one for 12, one for 21, one for 28. All right, your three main sizes. You have this piece which is tapered on the end. And you have slits in all of these. So that when you screw this in, the tapered piece comes up and starts to push these out, right? So you put this down into your sleeve, screw this down until it gets nice and tight, right? And then easy as pie, and you're doing this on stuck sleeves. You're not doing this on a sleeve that you can just put your finger in and stick it out, right? You're doing this on a sleeve that is stuck, right? So you screw that in, and then what do? You pull this thing out because it does not grip for crap. And trust me, I tried everything. I tried taking alcohol and cleaning this and the sleeve to get all the oil off. It just does not, it'll grip enough to pull out a sleeve that you can pull with your finger. And what is the point of that? We don't need a tool for that. We need a tool for stuck sleeves. And this thing, which tries to grip it from the inside, it doesn't hook on anything, just tries to get a tight grip just by squeezing the inside. Pointless, does not work. 3 tools, all 3 completely useless. But there is a catch. I have found that while those 2 are completely pointless and useless, all of that's scrap aluminum right there is all that is. But this right here, I have found that I can chuck this into my drill, and while this does not grip a sleeve hard enough to pull it when it's stuck in a crankcase, it does grip it enough that I can chuck it in my drill and spin it on my sanding sponge. You can put it in upside down. If the top, let's say you come across an engine that somebody gouged the top where the shims go, you have a problem getting a good seal, you can put the bottom in here and spin the top on your sanding sponge to refinish that top, smooth that out. If a sleeve is, now you don't want a sleeve loose in the crankcase. You certainly do not want that. But if a sleeve is stuck, if you just fought it out, right, and you go to even clean it off and you go to put it back in, and it's just you're fighting it in and out. I like to chuck it, run it on my sanding sponge. Just take like a 10,000th off, very little. Try it in the sleeve. Like I said, you don't want it loose in there. You want it to have some grip in the crankcase. But clean up the outside of a sleeve, shave off a little bit to make it go in a little easier. I have found that throughout the years, I have used these tools a lot. Enough to where that nowadays I have to stick I've completely worn all this doesn't even grip. The 21 one is the one I use the most. It's pretty much stripped out now from using it so much. Yeah, I have to put a zip tie in there to get it to grip. I've used this thing so much. So yeah, I have found and gotten good use out of that. So yeah, I would suggest if you can find those pieces, I think it can come in handy. But the rest of that, I do not recommend. We'll say it that way. Thank you very, very much for watching. More nitro stuff coming up. We will see you there. Have a great day.